What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at an interesting one. It's kind of what I think is an interesting idea when it comes to this kind of style of IPA. Of course, session IPAs are pretty, I wouldn't say they're popular, but it's an interesting take on your normal kind of style of IPA just because they're usually lower in ABV and all that kind of stuff, but I'm usually kind of interested to see if they still pack in all that hoppy goodness in there as well. So today we got one here from Tapistry Brewing Company up in Michigan, which I visited there. I believe it was in April I was up there. But I got one from them. This is a variation of their Michigan popular Northern Trippin, and this one is called Easy Trippin. It's a Session New England IPA coming in at a 4% ABV, but what they did here I already know it's going to be a kind of not a low ABV, so it's going to be lighter. But what they did to kind of still pack in all that hoppy goodness in there is they did a tremendous amount of dry hopping with this one, because it's not going to add bitterness. It just adds those natural hoppy flavors, which will kind of give you a low ABV, but still having a lot of hop flavors coming through it. So I'm going to hopefully see if these guys actually nailed it pretty well. I'm hoping they did. Tapestry makes some really good stuff over there. They have some good beers. Plus, their food over at the tap house is pretty fantastic. I think when we were over there, I had like some kind of beer cheese beef burrito there that was pretty damn good. But yeah, I'm excited to give this one a try. Who knows? It's a Monday, nice kind of 4% sessionable IPA. I think is exactly what I'm needing right now, just to kind of get a little bit extra boost on a Monday. But yeah, let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose with this one. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, still getting all those hoppy notes, a little bit of citrus. Definitely some grassiness. Definitely getting almost like a little bit of like a forest floor kind of feel to it. So definitely piney, citrus, a little bit of grassy, maybe a little bit of like, I want to say I'm maybe getting a little bit of like bitter melon in there. But yeah, it smells absolutely delicious, to be honest. It's very, very hoppy on the nose for being such a low ABV, which I think is really, really nice. So let's pour this thing and see what this thing's like on the pour. I'm not sure if it's going to be hazy or not, but I'll be drinking out of my Geneva like little pint glass this afternoon. Let's pour this thing and see what this is all about. Because I'm not sure if this thing's going to be hazy, so this is definitely more of a golden in color. A little bit of a murkiness, but nothing too crazy. A nice little bit of head. But look at that. That looks absolutely delicious, if I say so myself. Definitely has a nice kind of golden kind of color to it, almost like a dark amber. Nice fluffy head. Definitely still getting a little bit more of the citrus coming through now that I've poured it. Still getting that little grassy hint in there. But yeah, this smells absolutely delicious. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers everybody. Happy Monday. Okay. Definitely lighter. It's definitely a little bit more crisp. Definitely leaving in a lot of those bitter flavors. So what I'm thinking is, when they added the hops during the boil, they probably added some hops that usually kind of bring off more bitter characteristics. And then there's definitely a nice crispness to it towards the end, a little bit of sweetness. So I'm thinking maybe they used like a Cascade, maybe what other hops could be used during the boil? Let's see, maybe Centennial in there. I don't know. Maybe Cascade definitely brings off a nice kind of grassy kind of pininess to it. But overall, yeah, this is pretty delicious, and I'm really surprised on how much hop flavor that I'm getting from this one, with it being such a 4% ABV and being like that lower ABV kind of style of IPA. Yeah, that's delicious. Definitely has more of a hoppier bite instead of like more of a fruitier note that some IPAs bear up, especially with like a New England style. Definitely those bring off a little bit more of like fruitier flavors. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of fruitiness, a little bit of citrus. The bitter melons in there. The bitter melon notes are adding like a little bit of a bitterness to it. But overall, yeah, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all for being such a low ABV. There's definitely packed full of flavor with this one, so that's really nice. So let's look over here on Untappd and see if we can do a little bit of of course, if you can't get your hands on this one from Tapistry Brewing, Untappd is a really cool thing to where they show similar beers to what you're looking at, so you may be able to find something similar that maybe available in your area. So let's look and see what they show as the similar beers for this guy. So let's see. We got the Tropic Coastal IPA from Great Lakes Brewing Company showing up here. It's a 6%. Let's see. Definitely has those like golden, same kind of golden color almost. So maybe that one. Maybe there's definitely a little tropical fruit, citrusy, kind of refreshing notes in this one. Let's see. We got one here from City Barrel Brewing Company called Space Dragon, which is another 6% ABV little IPA. Let's see. 4 pounds per barrel of Galaxy and Citra hops. So it's definitely a lot of hops in that one. Definitely not going to have the same kind of color and complexity to it. But that one's definitely got more like of a danky, like tropical fruit kind of note to it, and with citrus. I don't know if I'm gonna pick the Space Dragon. Let's see. We got one from Transient Artisan Ale called the Similarly Vibed, which is another 6% ABV, little New England IPA. And then we got one here from Bell's Brewery called the Official Hazy IPA, which is a 6.4. Let's see, pungent American hops and delicious wheat malt. Yep, so it's a combination of Mosaic, Citra, Zecca, Amarillo, and El Dorado hops. So definitely bringing more stone fruit, peachy kind of tropical flavors in that one. So maybe I would say that could be similar. And then the last one we got here is from Other Half Brewing Co. called Juiced, which is, I'm expecting, is a pretty juicy. Yep, this is a triple IPA. Holy crap. So I don't think this one is going to be similar to this one, just because they used a specific yeast strain, and then of course it looks like they use phantasm powder in this one to kind of get that really juicy kind of feel. I don't think I'm going to pick this one from Other Half, but looking for one that may be the most similar, I can kind of pick in between the three of Tropic Coastal. You're definitely going to get a little bit of tropical fruit. Maybe the bitter melon will help with the citrus kind of notes to kind of bring that overall tropical flavor to it. So maybe this Tropic Coastal IPA from Great Lakes. Not going to pick the Space Dragon to be somewhat similar. Maybe the Similarly Vibed. It's definitely, I don't want to say similar in color. This one's definitely a little bit more hazy. But when it comes to color and like a look of the beer, I'm going to have to choose probably between, let's see if I can see what this, yeah, that one's a little bit more of a hazy. Most likely, I'm going to think this Tropic Coastal IPA from Great Lakes Brewing Company is to be the most similar. It's the same thing, almost similar in color. Definitely nice golden color to it. Let's see, the hop note, maybe a little bit of tropical fruity. I think a little bit of citrus. I think that may bring similar notes to this one. So, yeah, I'm going to go with this Tropic Coastal IPA from Great Lakes to probably be the most similar to this one, to be honest. I think there's a lot of probably flavors in that can kind of bring similar notes, but who knows? They're all going to be kind of different. I don't think every beer is going to taste the same. So you might be able to find a similar experience with this Tropic Coastal. I know Great Lakes gets their stuff available pretty out there when it comes to availability. So this one might be one that you most likely be able to pick up during the summer, I would say. Of course, more of the IPA season is starting to get into the warm months and all that. So exactly what kind of season we're getting into now. So let's see. Let's look here at the description and see what they have to say on this guy. So what it says is our number one selling Northern Trippin was scaled down to create a session version with still offering a full flavored IPA with a lower ABV. So yeah, kind of playing around with the ABV. Of course, you're probably going to have more sparge in there to add, because that's what's pretty much watering it down, kind of creating a lower gravity. So probably like a higher sparge kind of situation to where there's going to be less ABV, maybe a little bit less grain they used, but still kind of kept that hop profile to where I don't want to say they probably used the same amount of hops. They probably lowered, like, when it comes to the hops in the boil and maybe the dry hopping a little bit, but I think they still added just enough to kind of still bring in a lot of that hop flavor that the ones on the boil would bring off. Would be more of the bitterness, and then stuff you'd be adding during the dry hopping process would be kind of around that, getting the flavor of the hops instead of adding bitterness. So I think this one definitely, I don't think I've had the Northern Trippin before, so I don't really know what that one tastes like, but for being such a low ABV IPA, this one is still packed full of flavor, which I think is really impressive. So let's see if there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one, and I'm curious. And doesn't look like anybody did. So that's fine. So actually, nope. There we go. My uncle checked this one in. Of course, he just uses it for just using it as a catalog kind of situation. So he didn't give it a rating. He didn't need to. So let's look over here at the global rating and see what people had. Actually, before we do the global rating, let's look at the average here. So, like I said, 4% ABV. So yeah, it says session in the description of the type of beer it is. So yeah, 4% ABV, would definitely consider this sessionable. Rated as 21 IBUs, which, yeah, I can see it's around that range. There's definitely a nice note of bitterness to it, which I think comes from the boil process, of course. And let's see here, with over 628 ratings, this one is an average rating of 3.64 out of 5, which isn't bad at all. Not bad at all. So let's look here and see what other people had to say. This person gave it a 3.75. We got a 2.75 here. We got another 3.75. We got a 3.25 here, purchased at Meijer, which is a grocery store kind of in here, and this guy purchased it in Indiana. So I'm assuming that distribution when it comes to this kind of style of beer could be Michigan, Indiana, maybe a little bit of Ohio, maybe a little bit of Illinois. But yeah, this one's looking like it's some pretty decent check-ins. A bunch of check-ins at a grocery store because it's that kind of sessionable kind of beer that people are looking for. This person gave it a 3.5, purchased at Gomer's of Kansas. So it looks like, so I wonder, is that Montana? I don't know if maybe he can get stuff down in Montana. I don't know if, well, let's see. Another 3.25. We got a 3.5. A 3 purchased at Meijer. So a lot of Meijer check-ins. So look, people are finding this at a grocery store and picking it up. This person gave it a 4. Purchased at Lake Street Eats, which is in Bridgman, Michigan. Of course, probably like a little beer garden kind of place that's pretty close to the brewery. Bridgman is definitely a small town. I would say I think you could drive through it within like not even 5 minutes. So, but let's do one more here. This guy gave it a 3.5, saying light and refreshing, but not very hoppy. I would tend to disagree. There's definitely is a hop profile to it. There is a lightness to it. There's definitely like a crisp, refreshing note to it, but you still get those bitter, hoppy kind of flavors that you would expect out of maybe a little bit out of a West Coast IPA, with getting a little bit of more of a bitter kind of note coming through. But overall, I think this one is really, really well done for being such a low ABV. So I think Tapistry did a pretty damn good job with this one. So with that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here on ARM with this guy. And of course, we like to look at can art first. And I really like this can art. Tapistry does some pretty clean kind of can art stuff. Their font and their logo is always really nice. It kind of reminds me of Wicked for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, this kind of has like a picture of it. Looks like somewhere in Michigan where you can do some kayaking and all that kind of stuff. So an easy day out in the water and you want an easy beer to drink, I think this kind of personifies that perfectly. So it's, yeah, I like this can art. It's nice. It's definitely more of a something that was a picture taken and then printed onto the label, which I think is a really nice way to market it, just because you're kind of showing what kind of things that can be done in your local area. So maybe this is a place in Michigan that you can do some kayaking around the place like this. I think that's a really cool kind of way to market it, because people in Michigan are always really proud of the state of Michigan, just because there's a lot of places to do things to do over there, a lot of beautiful spots. So yeah, I like this can art. I really do. Of course, I don't know, does this remind you of anything with Wicked people? I don't know. The font just reminds me of Wicked. I don't know why, but I like the font. So overall, really, really nice can art. So, I'll give us a 4 out of 5 for can art for me. I definitely think this would be something that would catch my attention if I wanted a liquor store or bottle shop, just because seeing the kind of mural of a place in Michigan, I think is a really, really nice touch. So, can art's really good. I like it. But let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Tapistry Brewing Company, would I get another one? To be honest, if I was looking for something that's just light, crisp, and refreshing and not looking to go crazy and just having a low ABV beers to drink for most of the day, this would definitely one that would kind of go in my direction for something I'd look for, just because it's hoppy enough. I'm a fan of IPAs. I'm a hophead, so still having not enough of those hoppy characteristics in there, definitely going to be something that's really satisfying to me. It's crisp, it's refreshing, and you can drink a few of them and you'll be perfectly fine. So I think Tapistry kind of marketed this beer as being a very nice, easy drinking, sessionable IPA, and that's exactly what this one is. It's delicious. So with that being said, what is my final rating on this guy going to be? Like, I'm getting enough hoppy notes in there to where it doesn't really remind me of being light on the hops. It's definitely lighter when it comes to mouthfeel. It's definitely more thinner and a little bit more just not as much going on in the mouthfeel. But I think when it comes to the flavor, everything, I still think it's top notch when it comes to different hop flavors coming through. So, I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 I think is where a good spot to leave it. It's pretty damn delicious. So if you're a fan of just a nice, easy drinking IPA, this would definitely be ones that I would recommend just to pick up. If you're looking for a low percent ABV, but you still want loads of flavor of hops, this Easy Trippin from Tapistry would definitely be right up your alley for something that will be right there and hitting all those marks. So good job over at Tapistry, people, for coming out with this one. I think it's absolutely delicious. But other than that, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. And of course, I didn't check on Untapped to see if there's any verified locations. It looks like a bunch of Total Wines in Michigan carry this stuff. Of course, you can go over to Tapistry themselves in Bridgman. But there's some Total Wines in Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Novi, Sterling Heights. And then there's a couple locations like Lake Street Eats in Bridgman. And then there's a place called the Brewery in Clinton Township that carries some of Tapistry's things. So if you're in any of those areas and want to see if you can pick this one up, those are a couple options for you that maybe you want to look there. But other than that, let's see. Yeah, I definitely agree. Perfect lawnmower beer, 100%. But that's what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live to another review. I'm not going to have a review tomorrow for you guys. I'm not sure if I'll have one Wednesday either. It just depends on how the work week goes. So just keep it out on the channel, of course. Keep it out on my Instagram, because that's where I'll let you guys know right away what I'll be reviewing that day. So shoot me a follow over there. Of course, if you want to see what I'm doing over on Untapped, because you guys hear me talk about that all the time, I like to call it Facebook for Beer Drinkers. It's a really fun platform. You can shoot me a friend request over there as well. Link to my profiles down in the description below as well. Shoot me a friend request. I would love to see what you guys are drinking as well. But last but not least, if you want to support me, if I help me get a little bit of money in my pocket and be able to purchase more beer and get some more beer out to you guys if you join the Patreon. Yeah, Patreon is available for you guys if you want to support me more. I do monthly Illinois exclusive 4-pack giveaways. I haven't done the post of what beers are going to be together this month. That should be coming together within the next day or so. So keep it out for that. So let's see. I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.